So I was contacted by Alan and Howard from Hatchspaces. They told me about the project and that they were opening up a facility for scientists, a lab in El Sereno, and they were really interested in street art and graffiti and wanted an artist to paint a mural and just do it the right way. That was their whole thing, so they just wanted to do it the right way. And they had been following my work for some time and they were fans of my stuff, so we just started talking. And then one thing led to another and they offered me the opportunity to produce the mural and we worked it out. It's always a process of going between the client and myself and back and forth. So I said, number one, we need to have someone in the community that we honor with a portrait. That actually came really easy because they knew a local guy, Willie Zuniga, who's grew up in El Sereno, went to school at Cal State LA, is advocate for kids getting into science. And so, I got to meet him, I photographed him, and we were able to use his image as the kind of the central anchor part, I guess, of the mural. But the rest of it started to evolve because in their architectural drawings, they already had some geometric shapes on the left-hand side of the mural, like where their entrance is at. And we wanted something to play off of those geometric shapes. Well, at least I did. So I threw in some geometric shapes to play with that, and they liked that concept. And then that led to them coming up with the idea of producing on the wall some of the chemical equations or chemical compounds that make up, just some of the chemistry, I guess, that makes up the feeling of happiness. So there's like 4 different chemicals that they shared with me that we illustrated on the wall, which was, it was kind of fun. It was different. I'm not a science person or scientist, so I didn't know, it was all Greek to me. But so then that led to, okay, we're talking about happiness, we're talking about, science, and so we also needed an area where people could recognize El Sereno in the mural. So right in the middle of the mural, I did a heart, a kind of abstracted heart based on some of the same shapes that I was using in the chemical compounds that we painted. And then using that same kind of scientific equations, we wrote out El Sereno. The mural is called El Sereno Happiness. I think that kind of brought it all together. So when you look at the mural, it talks, like I said, it talks about science, talks about street art, talks about color, talks about community, and definitely talks about El Sereno. After the sketch was up, it was fairly simple in terms of, because there was large fields of color, I even had my sons out there, gave them some rollers and brushes and had them painting. I hired a friend, Shows Art, to come and assist me on some of the painting. I was able to get some good help and get it done. It's still, I guess the whole project took about, I would say, a week. Yeah, now that it's done, I'm like really happy with it. I've been getting a lot of very positive comments. I was at D-Con this past weekend, DesignerCon, and some guy randomly walked by me and he was like, "Hey, were you up on a lift in El Sereno?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, that mural's badass," and he kept walking. So a guy in Anaheim somehow drove by the El Sereno wall and saw it. So, no, it's. I think I'm really proud of the mural. I think it came out really well, and I hope people in El Sereno, keep loving it.